Welcome back. It's now time to go in depth. Now, this past week, Jamaica, in collaboration with the World Bank, held DigitalJam 3.0. And as the name suggests, it's a technology competition. Hundreds of young people from across the Caribbean developed mobile phone applications, hoping to win the grand prize of $10,000 mentorship for developing their app, and of course, bragging rights. On the phone, we have Senior Social Development Specialist from the World Bank, Fabio Pittaluga. Fabio is the DigitalJam team leader, and we're also pleased to be joined by Aldrine Smith from this year's grand prize winning team, CrimeBot. Welcome.
Thank you. All
right, so Fabio, this is the third year of DigitalJam. Tell us about the concept of this competition and how it's been going over these past few years.
So the concept is really to try to find alternative solutions for youth unemployment and entrepreneurship development, taking advantage of the opportunities in the virtual economy and using connectivity. That really makes it possible for young people to participate in either in the labor market via micro work and e-lancing opportunities, irrespective of location, or access new markets via the creation of products such as mobile apps. And so the whole idea really behind this is to generate a stage for young people to come forward and showcase and demonstrate their talent and capacity and what it is that they can do. And I think that yesterday the finalists who were coming from all over the Caribbean and 56 teams were made it to the finals out of 180 concepts that we received at the very beginning of it, where, you know, like all in the room, and 20 were called at the very last minute to pitch, and the vibes, the energy in the room, you know, was just absolutely amazing. And let me just end it by saying that the panel of judges was really a very, very high level one with representatives from the Silicon Valley. We had Jeff Burton, who was one of the co-founders of Electronic Arts. We had Betty Yang from the 500 Startups and the likes. And so really, really an international panel of judges. One of them said, who's Youssef Ahmededdin, the CEO of Oasis 500, the biggest incubator and accelerator of the Middle East, said he was impressed to see that the level he saw at the competition was on par with anywhere else in the world.
Wow. Now, Aldrine, you know what it feels like to be in that room. Congratulations on your team's win.
Thanks a lot.
So you were challenged to create an app that is a solution to a particular problem, and your team came up with the idea of CrimeBot. What does it do, how does it work, and how did you come up with that idea?
Well, you mentioned my team, and the team consists of Kashif, there's Dave, who's another designer, and then there's Garth as well. The whole idea behind CrimeBot really is to try to find a solution to a problem. In Jamaica, we have a problem that's you know, evident elsewhere, but it's a huge problem for us, and that's crime. And so our focus really was, how do we solve this problem? How do we integrate technology, you know, with people and solve problems at the same time? So that really was the focus, you know, trying to see if we could solve the problem of crime.
Mm-hmm. So how does your app actually work? What does it do?
Well, we try to make it as simple as possible. What it does is to map the entire country. In this case, it would be Jamaica. Map the crime hotspots right across the country, and also notify you live as crimes are happening around you based on your location. So really just trying to keep everyone aware of what's happening around them at all times.
And that's the users themselves would actually punch in something on their phone to say a crime is happening around me?
Yeah, well, it's a combination of the users as well as from external entities. Bulletins, for example, is another feature of CrimeBot, and that bulletins feature allows users to understand what may be happening. For example, let's say there's an oil spill, or let's say there's a missing person, or for example, a wanted person. So it's not only reports. Reports would be the prime purpose of CrimeBot, but there are other features as well that makes it really useful to the user.
Very interesting. Now, Fabio, I heard you at the press conference on Friday launching DigitalJam 3.0, and you said that the World Bank sees this as a solution to the chronic problem of youth unemployment, especially in the Caribbean. Now, to me, that's exciting because I feel like these are the types of jobs we should be training our young people to fill. But is it working? Is DigitalJam seeing the kind of creativity that we need to enter this market globally, and are the youths interested?
I absolutely think so, and we've seen this is the second time we do DigitalJam. The first time was a bit of a revelatory event, in the sense that a lot of people were asking these questions. Do we have the talent here in Jamaica? Are we capable of that? And I must say the numbers speak by themselves, and those who came yesterday will have seen the level really of talent and creativity and the capacity. Let me just tell you that right before the pitches, when all the teams went on stage, we had the first angel investor roundtable organized jointly with the Development Bank of Jamaica, the PSOJ, and JAMPRO. 30, 40 high net worth individuals who were really interested in looking at the opportunities to invest in these new possible ventures, and they were asking the question, so what is the state of tech entrepreneurship? And I said to them, you want to see it, just come into that room and you will see the best of bests in there. And some of them were flabbergasted and kind of blown away by what they saw. Both in terms of, as I said, the creativity, but also the kind of quality. Some of the graphics were outstanding, and as I said, the judges also made it very clear that this is not some kind of substandard that competes on a different level than, say, in the Silicon Valley or at TechCrunch in New York City. And that's really, really important. So it was really, really beautiful, and I think that the opportunities are real. Some of the guys who participated in DigitalJam 2 are today, setting up their own companies. Granted, it doesn't take 2 months. It's a long.
Yeah, that's the hard part.
Time and dedication and resources and commitment and all of that. It's not that you become an entrepreneur overnight, but overall, what we see is that the ecosystem is starting to have all the different pieces of the puzzle, and that means also strengthening the relationship between the young tech entrepreneurs or those who want to become tech entrepreneurs, the established businesses, generate relationships of mentor-mentees. Access coaching.
Well, I want to ask Al to jump in here because he's about to go through this kind of transformation. So Al, now that your team has won this prestigious competition, where do you go from here in actually monetizing this product and bringing it to market and perhaps setting up a business?
Well, one of the things it's really interesting about CrimeBot is that, apart from the social impact that we want to have with CrimeBot, there is also a financial side. The whole idea really is to try to develop that type of system where, we can help people, but at the same time it can be sustained. There is some continuous development of it and that it can actually last. And one of the ways that we want to do that, which is something that's extremely important to CrimeBot's development, is external support. CrimeBot cannot function independently. We need private entities, we need government support, because the whole idea, again, is there's a vision 2030, which was set up by the government, and this whole thing of moving forward is where CrimeBot is. And so if we have that support moving forward, it means, therefore, that CrimeBot really has endless possibilities for both social as well as from a business perspective. So our focus really...
Well, I'm ready to get my CrimeBot app So I'm looking forward to seeing that on the market. And I want to thank you both for joining us. Sorry to cut you off, but unfortunately we're out of time. It's very, very interesting and very inspiring to see young people doing this type of thing. But before we go, I want to ask you, Fabio, because as somebody who is involved in the creative industries myself, the way I see creating the app is actually the easy part. For creative people like Al, that's the fun part, but the real work actually starts after that. Now he has to market his product and find investors, keep track of sales, manage accounts and all that stuff. And that may seem intimidating to someone who's never done that before. So how do young people make that transition in any creative industry from creator to entrepreneur?
Well, there's, it takes a lot of motivation. It takes a lot of dedication. It takes, no fear of failure, which is one of the key messages that was also emphasized at the conference. But it also takes support, and it takes support from the private sector broadly. It also takes support from other institutions. And so to be very, very concrete, all the winners and the finalists are going to be offered the virtual incubation with a program called EPIC that we have in the bank that precisely wants to bring these teams to investment preparedness through a series of boot camps and training programs on various aspects, not just the technical, but the business, the investing, the legal, the IP aspects, and so forth.
Well, thanks again for joining us. That's Fabio Pittaluga from the World Bank and also DigitalJam team leader, as well as Aldrain Smith from this year's grand prize winning team CrimeBot. That's it for In Depth. Stay tuned. After the break, it's time for sports.